A new force is about to hit this city. From the dark side of the moon, this is the Cosmos Radio Network.
Welcome to the Biz Breaks Podcast on the Cosmos Radio Network. I am your host, Kevin the Credit Crusher, along with my co-host, Nykeia Neal. And we got a special guest in the building, Sharita Collins, who is a marketing and web design expert. Sharita, welcome to the show.
Woohoo! Yes, welcome, Queen.
Welcome to the show. So, Sharita, before we get into a conversation with you, and it's a conversation, it's not an interview, it's not a seminar, it's a conversation, and we want you to be as authentic and genuine as you possibly can be. But before we get in there, let's just talk about, this is the Biz Breaks Podcast. We're here on the Cosmos Radio Network USA every Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are streaming here in the United States. We're also streaming in the United Kingdom and Brazil and a few other places. You can catch us. If you are looking for us, you can catch us on all of our social media platforms. You can catch me on our social media platform, the name Premisien, Premisien. Sharita, I would imagine you are going live on your channels right now.
I am. I want to share this. And so I want to make sure I find the live so I can share it on my network with people.
Right. Sweet. And Nykeia, you are streaming on your Facebook page as well, right?
Yes.
Right. Nykeia Neal, name is on the screen. Nykeia Neal is the name. If you're looking for it, you can find us on all our social media platforms, Premisien. We're also on YouTube. You can also find us on the Cosmos Radio Network USA platforms by that same name, the Cosmos Radio Network. So we are the Biz Breaks Podcast. Sharita, what we do here is we talk to entrepreneurs and we have real talk with real entrepreneurs about their journey through entrepreneurship. Mm-hmm. And so I'm going to tell people, I'm going to introduce you. Is that okay? Can I introduce you to introduce you to some, reintroduce you to others, and just get you reacquainted with most of the people? Because I know most of the people in your network are in my network and vice versa. And so a lot of people know who you are. But for those who don't know who you are, Sharita has been known as a branding and marketing expert here to help serious small business owners. Not the frauds, right?
Not the frauds.
Serious small business owners generate more clients, close more sales, and increase their overall revenue and profits quickly and inexpensively. Mm-hmm. Let me see. Wait, close more sales, increase their overall revenue and profits quickly and inexpensively. Yes, that's like it's in my budget.
Exactly. Listen, it has to be affordable, like starting out in business, sometimes it's hard. So it's very affordable for people.
So Sharita specializes in developing custom and strategic done-for-you systems in the area of graphics, branding, and marketing to help small business owners advance their business. Over the years, she developed a massive understanding of the complex issues facing small business owners and has devised several plans for how they can excel in all business challenges. With her smart branding systems, she is able to use her experience to teach small business owners how to successfully apply the right strategies in the right order to grow their business to its maximum capacity. I can read, y'all. Y'all heard that? Sharita, I know this to be true because we have had conversations. We have worked together. I've seen what you can do firsthand, which is why you're here. So we welcome you, Sharita Collins.
Thank you.
Sharita, I just want you to tell the people who you are and kind of give us an introduction to how you got to this point in your illustrious career.
Yeah, definitely. So again, hello, everyone. My name is Sharita Collins. And as stated earlier, I help small business owners to basically expand their business. And so one of the things that how I got started was actually I started a graphic and design company in June 2011. I did that part-time while I worked full-time. And so as I was doing that, I would come in contact with a lot of small business owners who needed help and support. So they were coming to me for logo designing, flyers, graphic, all those different things they came to me for. And then all of a sudden, I would follow back up with them a couple of months later, maybe a year or so later. How you doing with your business? Thinking I created this logo for them. And then I would find out that they did not move forward with their business, right? Or something happened, or it wasn't working out the way that they thought. So they found a full-time job, or something else got in the way. And so I realized at that point that people needed the motivation, kind of like the coaching piece, to keep on moving forward. So I ended up in January 2018, I ended up leaving my job full time. And so when I left my job full time, I actually thought I was going to be doing real estate full time, because I was like, I'm trying to make some real money. Like, come on, let's go, do this real deal stuff. And it did not go the way I thought it would at all whatsoever. So by the end of 2018, I got back to my initial love, which was helping people build their businesses, do graphic design and everything else. And that's when I started my first online course that launched in January 2019. So I did that, got them started, helped them develop their brand. And as I went on that journey, I found out more and more how much support people really need in order to move forward with their next level. And also how they want done for you strategies and systems. They're not fitting to do all that stuff. So no matter how much I teach them, they're not trying to be a graphic designer. They're not trying to do any of that. They are simply trying to do their business and get the help the way that they need it. So that's where I created these done-for-you systems to make it where as though all you need is ABC 1, 2, 3. I'll take care of it for you, and you can focus on the brand and the mission and the messaging of your business. And that's really how I got started. And I tried to leave certain things on the table, like website designing, because I was like, oh, I'm done with it. But it was like, why are you leaving money on the table? They still need it. They need to establish business credit. They need to do all this other stuff. So how about you make sure they have a website too?
Yeah.
So I started recreating websites and became a Wix partner as a result. So that allows for me to also meet other business owners through that direction, in addition to my other platforms that I have where I partner with different small business owners to help them brand and build their businesses.
Sharita, you are sent from the creator. Nice. Did I cut you off? You are sent from the creator, because I got to tell you, man, I can't stand this. Love marketing.
Yeah.
Digital marketing is a monster, right?
It's a monster.
Talk me up here. Talk to him. It's a monster.
Yeah.
So
I just want to say real fast, Kev, before you jump in, I love everything that you do. And like you said, we're out here as entrepreneurs. You want to create, you want to focus on your clients, just building your business that way. And like I don't want to say most of it. I can't speak for everyone. I'll speak for me and some people in my circle. Canva is like our best friend, right?
Oh, that's honey. Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like I've seen some things that people have done in Canva, and I'm like, wow, Canva does that? Because then I look back at my stuff like, this is really basic. Like this is not getting the point across. So I come across a sister like you who's doing this, and look like us that we can give our business to is just incredible. So I am definitely happy that you're on here today with us.
And I actually Canva. So quick story around why we use Canva, my team and I. Now, I can do the graphics from Photoshop and all that stuff. That's how I started doing all of that. And what I noticed is that when my life changes and kids, mom, all that stuff, right? I found out that people were still dependent upon me to get the design over to them. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, I can't do that. That doesn't work for my life. I need for them to have autonomy and ownership over their stuff. So if at 2 or 3 in the morning, or if Sharita decide to go live in Africa somewhere and go hang out with her other sister that's over there, then I can go and do that, right? Mm-hmm. And you won't be affected because you got services from me. So we started transitioning to Canva because Canva allows us to do it quickly, fast. Yes. We are the ones that you be like, wait, you created that on Canva? And I'm like, yep, I put this here, that there, and da-da-da-da. We have like 30 layers underneath it. And you'd be like, wait, wow.
Look, I'm like layers.
And I'm like, all you need to do is just change out the picture. right? Or you can do is just change the name and reuse it again.
Mhm.
But at least you have the ownership over it. So
Right.
if you're going to do a newsletter, if you're going to do a flyer, if you're going to do whatever else, I will work it and design it, even if I created some of your pieces so that you have uniqueness. Because I don't want, like, that's part of my brand DNA. I don't want you to have the same stuff that somebody else has.
Yes.
So I will create. Yeah, exactly. And nobody got time for that. I don't care if we use effective, amazing systems.
Right.
Your brand still needs to look unique. And if my company's going to bring it to you, then our DNA is that your stuff will not look like anybody else's. So
Sharita, I have a question about that. But before I go into that question, I want Nykeia just to give me a quick commercial because she's one of our sponsors. So Nykeia, tell us who you are, what you do, and how can they find you?
Okay, so I am Nykeia Neal, the personal finance credit expert. I'm sorry, not credit. That's Kevin. It's the credit. I was thinking about what we did yesterday. Yes. So basically, what I help you do is build your financial house from the ground up. Okay, so it's layers, just like she mentioned, layers to having all of your flyers in order. There's layers to building your house, and you want to make sure that you have a strong, crack-free foundation. It's like, well, what does that mean? Well, you want to make sure that you have life insurance, right? You want to make sure that you're saving for retirement. You want to make sure that you're setting up investment accounts to save for your children's future. You want to get out of debt, right? We want to make sure that we get a will in place, a trust, all of that good stuff, because that's really building a strong financial house. And that's what I help you do, Kev. And the way that you can reach me, my telephone number is 267-257-3274, or you can email me. It's just first and last name, nykeianeal@gmail.com.
Awesome. Thank you for that. So Sharita, you were talking about the autonomy of the business owner, right?
Yep.
So here's the deal, man. This frustrates me to no end. I have dealt with a bunch of web designers, bunch of graphic designers, right? Who are the proprietors and the owners of my digital marketing, right? And then they disappear.
Yeah.
So I'm stuck with this website that I can't manipulate, I can't alter in any way, right? And then I can't take it over to another web designer because they have ownership. So tell us how you work around those issues, and has that been an issue for you in this field?
So it has been, and like I share with like every last one of my clients, I want you to have your stuff, right? I'm okay with managing it, but I want you to own it because it's yours. You paid me for it, right? I'm not trying to be possessive of your things, because when life shifts for me, I just don't think that it's fair that you get held up because something else shifted on my end, right? So my thing is, I use Wix. As a Wix partner, it allows for me to transfer ownership of the website over to a person. So, and while I remain the website contributor on it. So at that point in time when you're like, oh, I need this done or I need that done, then I can go in and just update stuff for you at any point in time. I can change some things. I can modify whatever you need. If you're like, hey, I need to go through a whole new website color, then we're going to do that. I have a new, an older client, but she went through a whole year of different stuff, and now she has a different logo, which I absolutely love. I saw that she sent out an email. I was like, we got to change your brand colors on your website, right? She was like, yes. All right, let's get it done. Mm-hmm. So now we're going through to change her brand color so that it match her logo. Listen, it's been over a year, right? But the fact is that she still owns it. Mm-hmm. And then I can still have the support to be able to be there to support her whenever she needs it. So I personally like that, because at the end of the day, your business is your business. It's your business, baby. It ain't my baby. It's yours. I'm coming along as your business auntie, right? I'm the auntie of your business, baby. I don't need no more kids. Right? So at the end of the day, I want you to take your kids with you when you finish getting them over here and I dress them all up. Take them back home. So at that point, I'm there to just help bring some shoes and some clothes that they get older and as they grow. So I don't like when graphic designers do that, or web designers, because you're stuck. And it's not fair to you. You got to figure out how to get things moving around later when you trying to pivot and do something else. It's not fair.
Again, appreciative of your approach, because and I don't think they hold us hostage maliciously. I think
Yeah, of course.
just the nature of the business, and they get out of sorts for whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful thing. So we have several segments on this show. The segment we're going to go into now is a tip. So I would like for you to give a tip about marketing, something that our audience can use to further their marketing efforts.
All right. So I would say it's a lot. Let me try to think of it. A simple one.
It's hard to just give us one.
I know. Let me see. I'm going to give you a simple one because less is more. And I'm thinking of something that y'all could do tomorrow if you decided to do it. So an easy tip, I would say, would be to invest or use a scheduling app for your marketing, right?
Okay.
And by that, I mean, if you are, there's several different ones out here. If you have a Wix website, your Wix account integrates with that, and you can do your ads, your marketing. It's a whole bunch of stuff you can do in the back office with that. Also, this is another reason why I like Wix too. Easy integration, so you can market really, really easy through them. But if you don't have a scheduling app, Canva, you can get a free account or you can have a paid account. They have a scheduling option on there. And then another app is called Planoly, right? They also have a scheduling app where you can set up your videos, your pictures. You can write out all your stuff, and you can say, all right, well, I'm going to spend 2-3 hours on this day developing all of my marketing and scheduling it all out. You can then go sit there, put it all together, upload pictures, upload images, and then send it all out.
And what was that last one called?
Planoly. Yep. And you can schedule all your apps, all your stuff, your videos, your images, everything. If you are an e-commerce business, you can also schedule those things too. If you want to upload images of whatever you're selling. And if it's greatly integrated through Instagram and Facebook, then you can have your store set up with it. So when people click on your images, they can just purchase your product through your website.
You know what I love about having Nykeia Neal as a co-host? She's a student, just like she's a co-host. Every time we're talking to somebody, you see in the background writing everything. And I thank you for doing that because I want to learn. I want to write this stuff down too. But I'm trying to do the show. Thank you. I appreciate you.
That was a great tip. It's like a thing that we've heard and we know to do it, but you bringing it back and just like that makes your life easier. Why we
it does.
No,
life happens for everybody.
Yes.
Right. So when life is happening, or honestly, if you just want to take a nap, like I don't know about y'all, but adult naps are great. I'm like, what's
the best part of my day?
School, yes, best part of the day to take a nap. And so I'm just like, even if you're just taking a nap, you want your business to still be running. You know, it's like investing in stocks and things like that. Your money still can make money for you.
That's right. Speak my language, girl. Speak my language.
Yes, listen, let it still make money for you while you sleeping, while you napping, right? Mm-hmm. Sometimes you just have a long day. Sometimes the days are just mentally draining and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, you schedule it out. You invested your hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, whenever it was, to schedule your stuff out. If you're going to do 3 hours, then see if you can do your schedule for the entire month. Mm-hmm. Right? What does that look like? The great thing is you can always go back and update it and change it if you need to, but it's better than trying to create it from scratch in the midst of the moment. You know? Perfect. So, and if you use like Canva, and definitely if you use Wix, right? They give you suggestions for your scheduling, right? They show you days, right? That's a popular day. They help you develop the timeline. All you gotta do is click on a button, and they even give you templates. So if you like the way the template look, if you like the way the template look and you just want to modify the color, bam, you just modify the color and put your quote in. Right? How did this quote impact you? Or next thing you know, you upload in something else. So now at that point, The issue that many of us have as business owners is, again, we're busy, and that causes us not to be as consistent because a lot of it needs to be done in real time with posting and social media. This allows you to be consistent. And after that, all you gotta do is follow back up with comments. Oh, hey, reply back to your comments. Right? That's
great tip.
Number two, respond to your comments. I'm just saying.
Respond to your comment. Tip number 2.
Respond back to your comments.
Respond
and
to your
time frame that you need to respond back.
If you do it within a good 24-hour period, perfect, because it allows for SEOs to come back up. It allows for your you to work within that algorithm of Instagram and within Facebook, right? So it gives you engagement, and then someone else responds back. It puts back up on their timeline. Then you got a new person commenting, right? So if you do that, you kind of keep your stuff up longer because you have comments and you have engagements and stuff like that.
I got to do better, people. Got to do better. So we in this segment, we each give a tip. So I'm going to give you a tip I'm going to give you a credit tip, as I will always do every show. And today's tip is about separating business and personal. Separating business and personal expenses is not just good for accounting. It's not just good for your taxes, but it's also good for your credit. If you are mixing your personal expenses with your business expenses, when you go to get a loan, the lender might ask you for 3 or 4 or even 6 months worth of your monthly statements from your bank statements, 6 months of bank statements. And if they see groceries on there, they see dry cleaning on there, they see children's soccer uniform, right? Soccer. Who plays soccer? Anyway, children's soccer uniform, then they are less likely, because they know that you're intermingling, and they may have the perception that you are not managing your finances separately. So separate your business and personal expenses, your business and personal bank accounts, and that'll help you get access to lending. And so I'm going to turn it over to Nice and have her give you a financial tip.
Today, I'm going to focus on retirement. So the tip is you need to know when you want to retire and how much money you're going to need to have in order to retire. So usually when I ask the question, I would ask, okay, so, Sharita, when would you like to retire? And most people respond with an age. Most people say like yesterday, today, tomorrow, but most people respond with an age. They'll say like, oh, I don't want to work past 55. I want to retire when I'm 55. Okay. So let's say that this person is 40. So now we have 15 years. But it's not about the years. It's about how much money do you have? Because when you get to be 55, if you don't have enough money saved and invested, you're not retiring at 55. So knowing what's called your financial independence number, your FIN number, is really important. So that way you have a target, right? When you have a goal, you have a target, you can hit that target. But if you don't have that goal and that target, you're kind of just winging it and hoping that you can retire. But we know you can't retire off of a hope. So you need to make sure that you know that number. And if you need to know that number, you know what to do. 267-257-3274. I got you.
Nice. If I'm 51 and I just start saving, can I hit that FIN? Can I hit that FIN number?
At 55?
Yeah. Is it possible?
Everything's possible. It's possible, but maybe improbable, but it's possible. All right. But you need to have things in the mix. Like you need to go hard. You need to make a lot of money and make your money work for you. Get in real estate. Like, what I mean? It's all of those different things, but it's absolutely possible for you to do that. But it's going to take some serious discipline and probably the amount of effort that you never put in your life in anything is going to take to do that in 4 years.
Yeah, because I don't want to have to go back to the streets. I'm sure I don't have the same credibility I have.
Kev, we're going to keep you out the streets, Kev. We got you.
All right, good deal. So, Sharita, we want to go to a next part of our conversation. And this is the part of the podcast where we have our guests, and we also do this, give a story that illustrates why someone would use their services. So we know that a lot of people tell us the what, right? They tell us the what we should be doing, but they don't tell us the why. And so you can use a story that's positive, where a client may have done something positive and it got them positive results, or they did something and it got them negative results, and so this is what you should not do, right? Before you give us your story, I just want to say to our audience out there, if in our podcast you hear your story, we never mention names, we never mention client names, but if you hear your story, we don't do this to shame you. So don't jump in the comments and be like, oh, you're talking about me, because now you're telling yourself, right? We do this because we attach these stories to real live things that have happened, right, in our experience. And so it helps somebody else who might be experiencing that same thing or maybe coming up on that issue. So please don't bombard us with comments like, oh, y'all putting my business out there in the street. Because now you turn the state's evidence. You're snitching on yourself. You're a snitcher. All right. So if you could give us an experience that you had where it would illustrate why a person should do marketing, web design, or what have you.
Yep. So there was or is, because they're still a client of mine and absolutely amazing. They started out with an idea that they had to bring women businesses all together. So their whole thing was to bring women businesses together of all races and ethnicities and things like that. And so we went through a recent situation where we were in the process of building out the website, right? And in the process of building out the website, they ended up wanting to do a thing at a shelter to help out these other mothers and families and things like this. Not this, like that, sorry. So they wanted to help all these different families out. But the owner of the homeless shelter was like, well, who are you? Like, I don't know who you are. Why do I want to work with you? I know you're looking to come here, but basically, like, we have our people to protect, right? Although they need help and services, we still have them to protect. And then because they started the group and the owner of the homeless shelter is a man and the group is filled with women, they asked if they can join the group so they could see what the group was like. And they was just like, no, we can't have him join the group. He's a man. These are for women and collaborations and stuff like that for the all women businesses. So anyway, we were able to get the website up, finish the whole thing, get it done, and was able to send it to him and put it under, their business name and stuff like that. It gave them validation. And just like that, they were able to go into that shelter, support those families. They were able to get donations. They did a lot of other, like a youth pitch contest for kids. They did so many things within the first year prior to them getting everything cleared up, because we're in COVID with their 501c3. Now fully having the 501c3. So for them, it worked out, because for people who trying to do business without a website, not only does it help you with getting business credit and stuff like that, it gives you validation. It gives you credibility. You know what I'm saying? Like you if you don't have it, then it's like, well, what? Like, we're not even talking about the style or the brand of it. You can still just simply have a website.
Right.
What you doing? Something simple. It doesn't even have to look all crazy. As long as you have something that gives you validation and credibility. So it's important. Would that shelter have helped them, allowed them to go in? Maybe. But let me tell you, it made it a lot easier because they had their website done, along with a logo, along with some brand. It gave them validation, because people are still looking at websites for credibility to see how legit you are. Same with banks and everything else. So it's important to have that. And that was a story of what else you can get as a result of just having a website presence.
Awesome. I applaud the women, that woman effort, that female effort. Fellas, let's go to work, man. Step the game up. Step the game up. Hashtag he too. Let's go, people. They're out here feeling us out. Let's help the community too. Anyway, I applaud.
I do too. Just quick question is to add on to that. A landing page and a website, what's like the main differences? Like, if somebody just gets a landing page, is that sufficient in terms of credibility?
Yeah, there are a lot of awesome websites out there. So put it like this. A website and a landing page are the same but are different, right? The landing page is just a one pager, but you still have the same, www.yourbusinessname.com, .co, .net, or whatever it is, or .org. So you still have that. The difference is that it's just a one pager design compared to most websites. They have several pages attached to it.
Okay.
Now, the benefit of I'm not getting geeky, but the benefit of having several pages is that it allows for the Google bots to work through your website more. So certain buttons, certain words, certain keywords, and things like that help you rank higher on Google.
Oh, okay.
Landing page, you can do all that. You can do the little buttons and all those other things. But if you don't have several things for the Google bots to crawl through, then your ranking will still be cool, right? But it won't rank up as high if you don't have more than one page. So my suggestion for people is at least have 2 pages for your website. Even if your second page is the bio, like Nykeia, for you, for example, if you're doing financial management planning and all those things, we would create a simple landing page for you that highlights all the services, but then you'll have maybe another page that has specifically the details of your services, maybe live examples of your clients of how you help them,
Like testimonials.
Yeah, but it's different from testimonials, right? It's like now I'm showing you through examples of what I have done for these clients. This was blank credit score. Now it's this. This was their financial situation. Now it's this. They didn't have a home they hit, right? So some of those things, and then we'll have a third page, which is just you, that talks a little bit about you, right? So now you've got the Google bots crawling through your page of your website, and they're like, oh, okay, this is good. People are interacting with it. We can decide who else is clicking on whatever buttons, yada, yada. So those things kind of really help when it comes down to your ranking and higher Google reviews and, all that other stuff. But a simple landing page, like a one pager, is definitely good. The difference, again, with that is you ranking higher on Google, depending on how many pages you have connected.
That was a very thorough explanation. I appreciate that. No one's ever broke it down that way. It made a whole lot of sense the way that you said that. So good stuff.
Nice. You got a story you want to tell?
I got stories for days. All right. So I'm going to stay with my theme on retirement. So I recently met with someone who, when we sat down, I like to look at, like, when I had that question about when do you want to retire, right? So we had that question, find out about, what they had at work. They had a 401k, been at the job for some time. And then I asked about, well, how's it allocated, and what that means is, like, how are you invested? So people say, well, I have a 401k. Okay. So now where's your money? Like, how is your money working for you? Are you conservative, moderate, aggressive? All of those things matter when you want to hit that goal. So he thought he was moderate. I said, okay, great. So go ahead, pull your statement up. Let's look through, see what you have. Well, when he went through his statement, he seen that he was conservative and didn't know it. And when conservative means that his returns is like 2 and 3%. Money is not really growing. That's pretty much inflation, right? So that's, now that we figured that out, I was like, okay, so now you need to look at, making some changes if you want to retire at the, the time frame in which you said that you want to retire. So that's the tip story is for you to pay attention to your investments. I'm not saying look at them every time you get a statement. Oh my God, the sky is falling. That's not what it is, but you should be reviewing them at least once a year, making sure those allocations are there. Because oftentimes when you're working, you just get this hire packet, right? And it has, like, this, what the company's rules and everything is, your health insurance, and then there's your 401k. It's like, these are important life decisions that you're making when it comes to your investment at your job. But people oftentimes don't have the knowledge to know what they're doing. So they just pick stuff and then they just set it and forget it. This is the case when setting it and forgetting it is not good. Like, you need to look at least once a year to see what you have so that your money's actually working for you the way that you need it. So then when we looked at some other options, he was like, wait, these investments are in the double digits. I'm getting these single low digits as words. So that's how I was able to, get him straight and just looking at his plan. And I actually asked him if I could use his story, and he said yes.
You getting permission?
I did. Because he's watched this show. He watched the show. So I said, hey, listen, this will be great. He was like, yeah, it's fine.
I'm not asking for permission. These people are friends of mine that I'm talking about.
Permission is good, Kev. Just
You're probably right. You're probably right. If I got permission, I wouldn't have to do these disclaimers, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm
So,
gonna tell you.
why is that? I have a question. Why is that, Nykeia? Like, why is it that you have it? Do you think people don't look at their investments? Like they get 401ks and they don't look at it. Why do you think that is?
I think it's sometimes it's anxiety. Some people look at it and it's like, oh my gosh, if I look at it, I'm going to get all up in arms because now this may be a year where your investments is down, or not even a year, maybe a quarter. And they're like, oh my gosh, I'm losing this. And then oftentimes I just think people just go on with life and they don't understand it. So, a lot of times we have the tendency just to avoid what we don't understand. And a lot of it happens, with your finances a lot. Like sometimes people will have, like I'll sit down with someone, I ask them, what do they have? Oh, I have this, I have that. Okay. Then we get to looking at the real documents, calling the company. It's never what they thought. It's never like life insurance coverage as they thought. It's never who they thought was covered on their policies. It's never what they thought. So just, being aware of what you have going on is really important for your financial game plan. Like we can't no longer just put our heads in the sand and just hope it's good.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Good stuff.
That's good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good stuff. Well, I did not ask permission. And this is a good friend of mine. So I got permission by proxy, right? So oh, well then I don't have a story. No, so 5 years ago, this friend had a 529 credit score. I told him to get on board. We're gonna clean it up. 5 years later, and it didn't take this long, but 5 years later. So 5 years ago, 529 credit score, goes into a car dealership to buy a car, has to buy a color that he doesn't want, the car that he doesn't want, at an interest rate that was ridiculous, 18.9%. He had to buy this white Dodge Magnum. Hated it. Didn't go in there for that. He had his heart set on this other thing. But that's what he could get. And by the way, when he walked in, they ran his credit and they called him by his first name. I'm not going to call names because I said I wasn't going to do that. They called him by his first name, and they talk to him disrespectfully. So and so, you got to get this. This is what you can get. You can drive out. You want to drive out today? You got to drive out in this. 5 years. Fast forward 5 years later, he walks into his wife's birthday was January 7th. For her birthday, he wanted to buy her motorcycle. Now, she doesn't have a motorcycle license. She rode motorcycles long ago, but her dream was to have a sport bike. He walks into the dealership. He's at a 761.
Wow.
He walks in, Mr. So-and-so. They call him by his last name. Mr. So-and-so. No money down. You can get this bike, no money down, and you can finance it. You can choose. What do you want? 48 months, 60 months, 72 months, right? When he financed the car, the Magnum, he had to finance it at 3 years because the lower your credit score, the less risk they want to take. So they wanted you to get that thing paid off as early as possible, right? So they say, what do you want? 48, 60, 72? What do you want? We may even be able to take this thing out 10 years. He was like, no, give me the 60, right? They said it's going to be at this interest rate. Walk out here today. You get to choose. Which one do you want? Which one do you want to hit? Mm-hmm. That's the difference between good credit and poor credit, the treatment. And oh, by the way, they sent him in order to finish the paperwork, they emailed him something that he was supposed to go online and fill out. The guy was like, you know what? I'll fill it out for you. Don't worry about it, Mr. So-and-so. I'll take care of you. Good credit makes them talk to you nice. They got to talk to you nice. Poor credit, they talk to you like you got poor credit. Good credit. Get good credit.
That's a
good story.
I love it. Near and dear to my heart. By the way, I rode that motorcycle home for her. Because,
you ride motorcycles?
Oh, a huge motorcycle.
See, didn't know that.
You don't know me. You think you know me, but you don't.
Apparently not, Kev. Apparently, I thought we were like,
we tight. We tight. Before we go any further, want to take a time out for our sponsor, Premisien Credit Counseling. If you are looking to get credit so that people talk to you nice, call Premisien Credit Counseling. We can help you get the cars that you want at the rates that you want. Have them call you by your last name. Premisien Credit Counseling. You can find us on the web at www.premisien.com. That's Premisien. You can call us at 215-904-8690. You can email us at info@premisien.com. Premisien Credit Counseling, helping individuals and businesses get access to capital through credit. All right. I love this show, guys. We're going to keep it going, though. I love this show. You guys good? You guys good?
All good.
Hang out with us for a little bit longer?
Yep, definitely.
Good deal. All right, so Sharita, we call this is the Biz Breaks Podcast. The reason we have the name Breaks is because we're taking a break in the middle of the day, but we also want to talk about real talk with real entrepreneurs. We want you to tell us a time when you were going to give up on your business, when you said, I can't do this for whatever reason, and tell us what that was like and how you got through that, if you don't mind.
I was going to give up on it when I first started. So, I of course already shared that I started the online course piece and stuff like that as well, and kind of teaching them. I was going to give up at that point because I guess measuring the success of it according to how they felt about their business made me feel like I was the one at fault, if that makes sense. So I felt like, no, I can't do it. Right. But even in that way, I had an expectation that they were going to be at a certain place. Right. Mm-hmm. So what I had to do in order to get over it was shift my expectation, which is why I'm a lot more patient now, understanding that people have to go through their own journey when they start their businesses. Like it's not a set, you're going to do this, and this. No, it's not like that. So I kept moving forward because they felt value out of it. It was like, oh man, we're done. We just got started. So I had to shift my expectations. But at the end of the day, although they did not achieve the things in the timeline that I thought they would have, they still managed to get started with a lot of things, and they had to take a process in the journey, right? Mm-hmm. So I got back on board with that. Then I was going to give up again later because I ran into somebody who was just not kind. They was just not kind at all. And sometimes, certain people have their own flows and their attitudes when you meet with them. They have their own areas of expectations. Right. And so because I was still fairly new in like that 2019 with this whole flow. Well, yes, I did things in 2011. It was different because I was in a different avenue, right, with the online stuff. And so because it was something new, I was about to give up again because they was just nasty. And I felt like it was me, right? Not them. And so I had to recheck myself because again, I was about to give up because, we sometimes look at people to measure our worth, our value. Right. Yeah. I mean, now it's a whole nother story. Listen, I'd be like, oh, how many do I have? I don't be bothered with you. Like, look, I'm going to take it to this point. You feel like you want to fire me, leave me, do whatever, rock out. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with that because I know I have other success stories that are here that I made things, I help people get successful with, right? So I don't trip out about it now because I learned the difference between myself and winning the situation, right? Or just the person. So for me, I had to learn that. And I feel like I experienced that within that first year of my restart, my relaunch for myself, of course, of 2019, and then going into 2020 with some things at the end of 2019, beginning of 2020. So my journey with all of that was like, don't give up. Don't be measuring yourself according to people. Like, listen, like, what you bring to the table, girl.
Exactly.
And confident on that.
You ever think about give up and do what? Like, did you think about my old job? Like, what did you do before? Like you said, you left your job for what was your?
So my other job, I love this nonprofit, Playworks. I love them. Like, support them if y'all can. But they are a national nonprofit that works with children, and they do fun, healthy, playful things to reduce bullying, fighting, all those amazing things. And so with me, I help within the fundraising department. Okay. I was a coach out on the field where I did all the playing and activities, but then I got into the fundraising nonprofit field. I mean, diving in, doing branding, marketing, all that stuff to help our region. So with that, I thought, I could go back and do that. But at the same time, I'm like, I I'm out the door. Like,
Yes.
ain't nobody going back.
Yes.
I already was trying to leave like a year, 2 years before I actually left. Like,
Right.
I wanted to go, but it was like, yeah, no. And then when I finally left, it was like, nah, ain't nobody looking
You
back.
burned the bridges. Yeah, you burned.
Like, it's done. And
Yes.
it is because I knew that I left on a good status. I could, but I'm like, at the same time, like you said, burnt. But for me, the burning was like, no, I'm not going back to a 9 to 5.
Yes, you burned all options.
I was like, yes, like I was not going back to a 9 to 5. I don't care how great the 9 to 5 was. I was like, I gotta just do this.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then sometimes, you look at it because the income when you're an entrepreneur is not consistent, right? You have some months where it's amazing. You're like, yes, let me stir up some nuts, like a little squirrel for the winter, because you never know when something's going to happen. So it was just like, sometimes that whole thing of how to process all of that, when things are going good, when to reinvest in something new in your business, when to take some money and then do this and all those other things. So it's that whole piece of building up that foundation. And for me, that then transitioned to no longer being a solo person, but now I have a team. Right now I have my team that works with me. Now, how do I navigate my team? What does the process look like for hiring, going through payroll, payments, all that stuff? So now that's a whole nother avenue,
Right.
Of the business of it being just me.
Right.
Now I got to build this team, and how do I manage it? And so those are some of the things where it's just like, I wanted to give up, I wanted to quit, but it was like, yeah, no, I'm too far in. I can't, deuces to the 9 to 5. Peace. I respect those who need it because I may need you to work for me, right? So I love that you love your 9 to 5. I want you to be loyal to your 9 to 5. Please, because that means you will be loyal to me. But at the end of the day, I just don't want to be in the, I just no going back for me. Like, no giving up. Like right onto the wheels fall off. Like, I mean, I'd be dead broke. Like, I mean, the wheel gotta be broken in half and can't roll anymore. But then knowing me, I'm trying to glue it back together and be trying to roll it back.
I get a little shimmy, Kev. Give it a little.
The universe is thankful that you chose not to give up. We need you out here doing what you do. So
yeah, thank you.
We're going to go to the fast forward. We're going to ask you 4 questions. We want you to give us the answers succinctly, as quickly as possible, succinctly, but make sure people know the answers. All right? You ready? Ready for the fast forward? All right, go. Book. One book that has impacted your entrepreneurial journey.
What is that book? John Maxwell is a leadership book.
And he got a lot of leadership books.
Let me see it.
The Irrefutable Laws of Leadership?
No, it was a different one. Oh, you know what? I got it on my phone because I'll be listening to it too. I gotta go to it.
Cool.
Make sure I give it to you the exact one. It really was transformational. It just put me in a different perspective in how I do business. What does it look like for me to lead people who I work with? Leading them in let me look at my library, leading them, because I felt when I meet with my clients, there is a portion of me that has to lead them too, right? So that book was really important, that when I'm having my one-on-ones with them, how and I'm still leading them as well as leading my team and leading myself. So that one was absolutely amazing. And it was, let me see, where are you? John Maxwell. Nope, that was not it. Oh yeah, the 5 levels of leadership.
5 levels of leadership. All right, I'm putting it up there.
Yep, 5 levels of leadership. Oh yeah, and Russell Brunson. I love his books too. They're all marketing books.
5 levels of leadership. John Maxwell. All right, cool.
Yep.
Cool. Got that. I put that in the comments. All right. A tool, and you alluded to some of them, so if you use it again, that's perfectly fine. But give us one tool that has had a great impact or has helped you tremendously in your business.
I honestly would say Wix. It's been an amazing tool. Wix, yep. I love the integrations.
All right, good deal. Give us a challenge that you had to overcome Was it something that you would challenge with that you
Self-doubt and self-sabotage.
That's
tell,
good.
tell us more.
For me, I felt like I couldn't do this. That led back to that whole give up, right? Piece that we talked about before. So with me constantly saying, "Oh, Sharita, you can't do this. Oh, you're not good enough. Oh, these people that think that you're this, that, and the third." I doubted myself, because then when I would talk to people who experienced what I gave them, it was like, this was amazing, or this was this, and that was that. And I was like, well, Sharita, what was your mind? What's up with your mind in comparison to everybody else? How about you get on the page that they're on about you too? So that was part of my 2019-2020-ish journey of going through all of that. And that, I think that did stem from 2018 of not being as successful as I would have hoped in the real estate field. So after already dabbling in it for 2 years, I thought that by the time I did it full time, that I just knew what I was doing. So
Gonna blow up.
Yeah, right. So I guess it was like that sense of like that failure piece, right? Although I reshifted and went back to really focusing on helping small business owners, which is still such a big passion of mine, it still was just this whole self-doubt and self-sabotage. Like I was sabotaging myself. So I held myself up. I didn't move. I just didn't think that it was worth it, or, had these other thoughts that nobody put there but me, right? So self-sabotage, had to kill it, had to die. So I could.
And then you about to blow up, Shuey.
Yeah, listen.
All right, last one. The one thing you wish you'd learned earlier or applied earlier in life that would have helped you be in a better position now.
That's a little challenging.
Oh.
Yeah. Because I feel like for me in my journey in life, it happened the way it happened, right? And everything was just set up the way that it was. I mean, yeah, like I did something, like even just that whole journey of that whole self-sabotage, like I had to go through that so I could learn and overcome certain things that came later. So
how did you overcome? So you said that you went through it. Like, what did you do? What tips can you give people who are other entrepreneurs that are going through that? Since the other question you're kind of struggling with, that could get them, past that, because it happens to a lot of us, whether you're in business or not. So what did you do to like you said, you had to kill it. So how did you kill the beast?
Yeah. So for me, I went through a process of really learning what it meant to love myself. Right. So I had to go on this self-love journey, because a lot of times when people get to a place where they love themselves, you think better of yourself. Right. So what that showed me was that I kind of just didn't, and I didn't understand that I didn't really love myself. You know what I'm saying? Like we think we have this concept of love and, appreciation for ourselves. But sometimes for me, I get so caught up working and so busy giving to other people all the time, which a lot of us as women do. We're always giving, sacrificing kids, family, husband, all that stuff, that I didn't realize how much I did not pay attention to myself, right? So I started loving myself more by, saying how beautiful I am, writing down affirmations, writing down my own things to just celebrate who I am, getting around more positive women, right, who have positive attitudes. Just being around them helped. Some of my friends shifted, right, to being more healthy women friendships, right, where we talk, have conversations. For me, prayer is a really big thing. So that was a huge thing for me, incorporating that within my life, and just kind of getting closer to God and my relationship with Him. And then understanding more about just me celebrating my husband and being with him, right? Just laughing more. Like it was just important for me to start laughing more. Like everything is not always serious, girl. No, listen, like come on, have some fun, laugh, go eat, go to the movie somewhere, everything else. So those are some of the things that I had to start doing to reshift myself to kill the self-sabotage because it was just not working for my life. You know, and I think a lot of women go through that. You beat yourself up because you're not being as good of a mom. You think you're not being as good of this. So there's a lot of things that, you know, women go through differently mentally and emotionally than, of course, our brothers. And my husband be like, what? Oh,
right. And you all feeling guilty, like, oh my God, I'm working every day this week.
I know.
It was like,
the kids are making you dinner. He's like, okay, I'll go make it myself. I'll just make my own. He's like, we good, right? Now she's like, I'm your wife. I'm supposed to make you dinner, and he's like, okay, I can cook too. You know, we in this together, right? And I'd be like, yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah. So it was just one of those things where I had to go on that journey. And I think what people sometimes fail to realize when they jump into business is that you still got to work on you. Like self is still very important.
Yes.
Because that's part of your brand. Like even with the crew people who I'm teaching now, your brand is you. Like what you talk about, like your messaging, that is what people are going to see. They're going to buy from you because they trust you. They're going to, you know, partake in your business because they trust you. Your brand is you. So if you have not done self-care, if you have not worked on your mindset, if you aren't motivated, if you aren't pushing for, if you don't even know about your personality temperament, right? You know, you have it in all these different jobs. They do these personality things. If you're aware of, if you're aware of your personality temperament and stuff like that, then you will find yourself being able to navigate with other people differently, right? If you move forward, like it's so many different things, but it was important for me to realize that about myself and this whole workaholic thing. Yo, I had to fall back. That was a huge thing. My personality temperament. I was like, what? Okay, Sharita, you got to take breaks.
Right.
It's important to sleep, honey, because you're not gonna be good to nobody. So while I had that same mindset, because I you know, my work ethic has to be a certain way, and while things have happened in life where I had to readjust, it's still a thing. I have to make sure I reset things up, and I can't just work all the time because I'm no good to nobody if I try and do that. Yes. So I had to come to that realization too and kill that. It was all self-doubt.
Great answer. You hit so many different components. Kev, back to you, Kev.
Sharita Collins, it has been an honor and a privilege to have you on this show. We are better. I'm going to speak for me. I can't speak for you. I am a better person at 2 p.m. or soon approaching 2 p.m. than I was at 1 p.m. because of your presence here on the Biz Breaks podcast. So thank you so much for joining. Before we get off of here, Sharita, tell them where they can find you.
Yes, you can find me at achievegreatness.co. That is www.achievegreatness.co. That is my website. We are going through a rebrand right now because we are offering up more services and all those great things. So you will see the website shift a bit, even if you look between now and another 2 weeks. We're almost done. So achievegreatness.co. If you want to find me on Facebook, it's Achieve Greatness with no I and E. So ACHVE Greatness. You can find me on there. You'll probably find this live that has been streamed today on there as well. And you can find me on Instagram at Sharita.Collins. That is Sharita.Collins.
Awesome. Well, we thank you for being here on the Biz Breaks podcast, where we have real talk with real entrepreneurs. We are here every Thursday on the Cosmos Radio Network USA. Shout out to our platform, Shaun Talks, out in London, England. Shout out to Showtime and Hypeman for having us on the Cosmos Radio Network. Stay tuned for some other great shows on that network. You can find us on all of our social media platforms. You can go to the Cosmos Radio Network platform. You can go to my platform, Premisien.com. The website, you can reach us on with that name on all of the platforms. We're here every Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, having real talk. And please don't forget to follow, like, subscribe, and share for everybody here. For Sharita, for Nice. I call her Nice, y'all.
Sharing is Karen.
For myself, follow, like, subscribe, and share. When you find us on any one of the platforms, please follow, like, subscribe, and share. The Biz Breaks Podcast, real talk, real entrepreneurs, and we are out of here.
Powerful new force is about to hit this city. From the dark side of the moon, this is the Cosmos Radio Network.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one.
Bye.